There you go.
Are we going?
Yes, we're going.
Okay. So, we were watching Stanley Tucci make cocktails. He was making a martini on Instagram. And he told a story that I had heard him tell before about making a martini with scotch. Because in England they didn't have enough vermouth, I guess, during World War II. So they substituted scotch. Well, I don't have any scotch, but I still have some liquor left over that I swiped from my mom's house. And I also have Hotel Tango's bourbon ready to drink. Now their bourbon is a hot wheated bourbon. So I thought, this is a fairly hot bourbon, and it's good in lots of things.
Let's reprise the bourbon.
Oh yeah, that's the bourbon.
Bourbon.
Highly recommended. Very good bourbon. Makes a really good Manhattan. The gin, I've never heard of Maxime's gin before. I don't know how long it's been in my mother's liquor cabinet.
That's cool artwork, though.
It smells good. It tastes good. It reminds me a bit of The Botanist, kind of. It's a French gin. So anyway, I don't have a cocktail shaker. I don't have a martini glass. I don't have a martini strainer. I'm basically living on a desert island here, essentially. But I took some of the bourbon and some of the gin and mixed it up as best as I could and poured it into basically a rocks
ratio?
glass. 5 to 1. We're going to try 5 to 1. It's nice and cold. We have no lemons, so we have no lemon peel. We have no green olives, and I don't want to do this Tbilisi style and put a black olive in there, so...
No pink plastic
I also
pirates,
don't
so
have
it's
any
either-
pink swords, yes, sadly. Yes, was that the Tbilisi Palace? I think it was called, the
That
hotel
was
where they made that.
the Tiflis Palace.
Yes,
on the
Tiflis
roof.
Palace,
On the roof,
yes.
yeah.
Nice restaurant, lovely people. If you order a martini, you will be surprised. Okay,
Well,
there it goes.
but I think maybe it's good to try it this way first to see if you like it, and then you can add the accoutrements next time.
Exactly. If this is good, then I can get fancy and actually do it. I actually prefer my martini shaken. For one thing, there's less alcohol. Fun fact. I think it gets colder, and I also like the aesthetics of the ice crystals floating in my drink. Shaken or stirred is traditional. I prefer shaken. Anyway, here it goes. So you can see it's a beautiful kind of golden color from the bourbon.
Yep.
Smells nice. I mostly smell the gin. I don't really smell the bourbon, but it's, like I said, it's 5 to 1, so it's going to be pretty subtle. Wow, that is weird. You don't smell the bourbon, but pretty much what I taste is bourbon.
Interesting.
So that's really interesting. I'm not really tasting the gin at all.
So it just takes over all the herbal notes of the gin, huh? I guess that makes sense. Maybe.
Yeah, I think if you were going to do this, you would have to actually make it even drier,
Yeah.
like maybe do 8 to 1.
Huh.
Because I think that heat and that brown sweetness that you get from bourbon is excellent, but it's really a strong flavor.
Or maybe you do the thing that Stanley Tucci does and you just rinse the ice cubes with
Well, yeah,
water.
that's what I mean. You make it really,
Yeah.
really dry.
So
He
you
did
just
like
rinse-
essentially 16 to 1.
Yeah, he
I
just-
think you could probably do 10 to 1 and probably get a little less of this. But I don't know. I just think it's really interesting. I can smell the gin very strongly, but you just can't. Yeah, you can't really taste it, or I can't. Maybe someone with a more refined palate could, but basically I'm tasting bourbon. So I will experiment with this further and keep you posted. Maybe I'll do a part 2 where I make it properly and do like maybe 10 to 1 instead of 5 to 1. But yeah, we'll see what happens.